Hi everyone, today I have Alex here with me and we're going to do a Fontes and Pinnell benchmarking assessment with him. So Alex is a third grader. Tell everybody hello, Mr. Alex.
Hello.
So I am going to pull a Level M book. So normally I would have this handy dandy little calculator right here, but my box doesn't have a calculator. So I am going to use a stopwatch instead to help me find the accuracy. In today's training, I'll give you the equation to find the accuracy if you do not have a calculator as well as fluency. So we're going to go ahead and get started, okay, Alex? All right. So you are going to read me a story today. You are going to read to me City Hawks. Can you read the title for me?
City Hawks.
City Hawks. Now, in City Hawks, what do you see on the cover, buddy?
It looks like a hawk on top of a roof.
A hawk on top of a roof. I agree with you. So in my folder, I have found the running record page. So I am going to use that to track your words correct. So today, this hawk's name is Pale Mail. He is a red-tailed hawk. He made a nest on the ledge of an apartment building in New York City. We're going to read to find out what happened. Are you ready? All right, turn to the first page, Mr. Alex, and you may begin.
A nest in the city. Many people call New York City home. So does a famous bird. He's a red-tailed hawk called Pale Mail. Pale Mail has a hooked beak and a red tail. He got his name because his chest is almost white. Red-tailed hawks need to live where they can hunt for food.
Great job. Keep going.
At first, Pale Mail chose to live in Central Park. It is a big green park right in the middle of New York City. The hawk started to make a nest in a tree, but some blue jays flew at him. They would not leave him alone. So Pale Mail moved. He found a mate and he made a nest on the ledge of a fancy apartment building across from the park. The ledge had sharp spikes on it. The spikes held up the nest of sticks. Baby birds. Before long, there were eggs in the nest. Many birds watchers came with binoculars to see the hawk family. Soon the eggs hatched. Baby birds poked their heads up and the people cheered. Pale Mail has now raised about 24 chicks. He and his families are famous around the world. People have written many new stories and a book about the pale male was even on 2 TV shows.
All right, Alex. Do you see that black square right there on your page? So right now you are going to read the rest of the story either quietly to yourself or in your head, okay? All right, I want you to finish reading them.
TV show helping pale male, but not everyone has happy when pale male moved, and some people didn't like having a huge nest on the building. They didn't like people starting at the building with nucleus. So one winter, these people had the nest and the spikes taken away. That made other people mad. They marched outside the building. They helped up Sims and yelled, bring back the nest. They called city leaders. They fought so hard for pale male that the spikes were put back up. Before long, pale male and his mate were back now. New York is home to the City Hawks for as long as they want to stay.
Awesome. So Alex, it looks to me like you have finished reading your story. I am now going to ask you some questions about the story. Remember that you may use your book to help you look for answers, okay? Will you talk to me about what you learned in this book?
I learned that a pale male is a type of red-hawked bird or red-tailed bird that's famous.
And how was pale male famous? What was he famous for?
Famous for being because he was on a fancy building.
He was on a fancy building. Where was the fancy building?
In New York.
It sure was. And what did he do with his nest on the fancy building? What happened in his nest?
He mated and he laid eggs.
And what did he do with the eggs?
They hatched.
And after they hatched?
It made new pale males.
It did. It did make new red-tailed hawks. It did. When you're thinking of the baby birds, what did pale male do with the baby chicks?
He fed them.
He fed them. What is that called when someone is feeding you and watching you?
Taking care.
Taking care. Very good. So what happened at the end of the story?
They tried to take pale male's nest.
They did. And what happened when they tried to take his nest down?
He couldn't lay any more eggs and make more red-tailed hawks.
That's right. What about the people? How did they feel about them trying to take his nest down?
Sad.
Sad. Why did they feel sad?
Because they wanted more pale males to be alive.
They did. So look on page 4 at the drawing at the bottom. What did you learn from looking at the drawing?
It looks like it's a place with a bunch of buildings, lakes, parks.
Ooh, read the caption underneath. What does it say?
Tall buildings are across from Central Park.
So what are they doing? They're telling you what?
About a red hawk, a
Okay.
red-tailed hawk.
Okay. So what was unusual about Pale Mail's nest in this true story?
Other birds tried to swat at them.
Okay. Why did Pale Mail build his nest on the building?
To keep away from other predators, probably.
Why did people like to watch the hawks so much?
Because the hawks were famous.
Why did some people want the nest taken down?
Because they didn't like Pale Mail to be on the roof.
And what was the disagreement different people had about Pale Mail?
Some people wanted Pale Mail nest to stay up, and some didn't.
I agree with you. Thank you so much for reading to me today. I really enjoyed listening to you.